Happy holidays. So in this video, I want to talk about basically the difference between like a parent and a caregiver. Because like there are two separate jobs clearly, but some parents are both jobs in one. And in particular me as example. This other mom, I think her name is, I think it's Kaylee Compton, is her TikTok that I talk about once in a while on my TikTok. Sorry, he's throwing something. I'm gonna check on. No, it's a plastic bag. Hang on.
Being in a dragon outfit is the only way to make this socially
Just
acceptable.
have to make a mess, like
Without the dragon outfit,
everywhere up
it's not laughing.
to the place.
I want him to step out of the dragon outfit for a moment and realize that what made me fall in love with John.
You go to smack tomorrow.
John and Jane
You go for the whole week because you don't get sick again.
Tui and Theodore. Been in every show that they've ever.
Anyways, so those of you who already know because you've been following me, and those of you who don't know, my son is autistic. He's 4 years old.
The dragon outfit wasn't.
So I'm trying to deal with that.
I'm not sure who is more famous.
Trying to stay following along with how I more so wanted to do this video because I want to talk about the differences, but I'm also trying to do laundry. But I want to get out some important things out of the way for me. And that's just that, like, I am, when I say single mom, I mean the baby dad. His father is not in the picture. Again, most of you do know. Anybody that's new, I have a boyfriend of 4 years. He works 6 days a week, and then he has his daughter on the weekend, so usually he's really busy. And he works in the GTA, so like traffic is another thing, and it's just hard for him to come down all the time. But he tries to help me out as much as he can, or I go out there.
Real magic trick.
So yeah, I basically do a lot of this on my own. My stepdad helps me here and there. My mom helps me here and there. My mom and I have a up and down relationship. But yeah, I do makeup, cosplay. I've been dancing for about 10 years. I've been doing like adult content for like 12 years-ish, somewhere around there. 11 years, something like that. So you can follow me on Twitter for all of like the X-rated stuff, because like Instagram, obviously, and Facebook and TikTok don't really allow too much of that. So I promote myself through Twitter for that work, and then my TikTok is for my cosplay, and I do post about like going to work and stuff like that. And then things about me and my son. I go live there once in a like. Right now, I'm going live quite a lot on there. I can't go live on Instagram. I don't know if that's because I'm like permanently banned or if it's because I changed my profile to a professional one and it's being like, you have to have 1,000 followers on there too to go live. And my Instagram page has gotten deleted a couple of times and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, so yeah, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and then I have an OnlyFans account, yes, which you can find the link to or get the link to through Twitter. I do Chatterbait. I do many vids. Yeah. So basically, I'm just trying to say if anyone can support me in any way. Sorry, my brain is like, how am I saying this again? Obviously, money does really help, but no, I'm not just expecting people to give me money. Like, even just following me on social media really helps. Joining my lives really helps. Watching my YouTube videos will really help. Subscribing to here. If you can give gifts when I'm on live TikTok, that would be great. If you can subscribe to my my OnlyFans. I'm used to saying OF because of TikTok. But my OnlyFans, that really helps out too. If you can come and get dances from me at the club, like that's also helpful. Any little bit of support just helps me out. You know, especially even like retweeting my stuff. If you can't send gifts and stuff like that. Like, if you're short on money too, like I understand, then sharing my stuff really helps because it gets more viewers, more people, a possibility of other people to be able to see my work and then them maybe possibly paying me. I know Twitter says that once I get 5,000 views on my videos, I can get paid for them. And some of my videos get like, a few of them have got 5,000 views. At least they get a couple of thousand sometimes. But my TikTok, same thing. It was like, oh, if you get 5,001 views in your videos, get $10 for each post. And I'm like, that would be really nice if I could even just get that. So, anyway, choking on my own saliva. Anyways, that's enough. For a little bit of about me. If you want to know more, I highly suggest that you do subscribe to OF. If you want to talk to me, OnlyFans, because I don't really like sitting on like Facebook Messenger, for example, and just messaging people back and forth because it takes a lot of my time. Like I'm busy trying to get my life together and make money and move out and like provide me and my son with like a better house, a better lifestyle. So I don't have time to just sit around and talk to people all day long. And I do want to talk to my fans, people that are spending some time on me. But like even if you're somebody that again is like joining my like you're just following me, you don't have to spend money, but you're like following me, you join my lives and you talk to me once in a while, I'll still respond to you. It's not like I won't respond to people at all.
So it never stops.
We never stop.
You guys are giving me Yes.
It's just a great way to weed out all the people that are just like time wasters and just want to talk to me or like want me to send them free content or things like that. Anyways, I'm gonna smoke a bong toke. I think I'm gonna do it in the bathroom because he's right here. And if you do join me on TikTok and I say a hootie hoo, this is what I'm talking about. Because on there you're not really allowed to like. Well, I mean, yeah, I get promote drugs, but like. I mean, marijuana isn't really like it's legal here, so it's not like I'm promoting a drug in a way like do drugs, do all the harder stuff. Like I'm not saying that, but that's how they treat it, which doesn't make any sense, especially when people like eat it or smoke it for like medicinal, medicinal purposes. Then that's completely different, I think.
I know. Go on, Miss America. Go on. Tell him.
Anyways.
Okay, let's go.
I guess because there's still the stigma behind it that it, leads to harder drugs and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And you become dependent on it and all that shit. Anyways. Yeah, I admit a little bit dependent on it. I am. It does help keep me calm. I'm having a hard time. Then again, I also think I'm autistic too, and I still have to get diagnosed for that, so. Anyways, let's actually get into the video because it's now almost going on 10 minutes and I feel like I'm kind of wasting some of my time now.
You haven't got the job yet. But you're on the list. Do I get a call back? You're on the list. I just missed my hamstring for you. Was noted. Literally could have busted my old plus for you. Yeah. And you didn't give me a call back. No. So I tried that with let's see what it looks like. I used to have usually we don't start with transformation this early, but I think, you're a seasoned professional. Okay. Oh, it's just so bad. Sauce. Yeah. I mean, I almost look like the first lady of some country. I was thinking more like 80s, Guns N' Roses. I don't know if I've ever had my work cut out for me like this before. Can I do with you? Just give a little.
Okay.
You know what you have a
So, let's get into
Healthy at the same time.
folding some of this laundry. And my towels I kind of fold last. So my towels, sheets, and sweaters, so I'm just putting them all behind me.
Takes that.
So obviously, majority of us all know what a parent is. Just in case someone doesn't know. But a parent is somebody that has a child. And actually, takes the responsibility of taking care of their child, feeding them, clothing them, taking them to school, taking them out to play, teaching them all the important things that they're going to need to know in order to be a thriving human being, basically, and to be able to learn to be independent, have a life of their own kind of thing, Um, because we do not classify people that just have children and are not involved in their children's lives as parents, like his father, for example. We consider those people as sperm donors. Well, I do. More so. He's more so just like a sperm donor. That's all he really did was loan me his sperm to have a kid. And Larry, yeah. Anyways, I'll get that. Now caregiver, that one is the definition for a caregiver is probably a little bit not as clear, just because it's not a term that is known, or as common. Like I didn't even really know the term caregiver until I had my son, and I realized that I'm also my son's caregiver. Like I'm a parent and a caregiver. I'm both. And this is exactly why I'm making this video, is because there are going to be people that argue with me being like, no, you're just a parent. Those are parent things. But yes, they are in a sense, because me, a parent, and other parents out there are doing them, but they're also a caregiver job, because there are people out there doing those things as a job because it's extra work than normal parenting that a normal parent has to do. The quotation marks, because what is normal? There's no such thing as normal, really. Trying to fix this. I don't like how far out the arm is. Okay.
You see JD at
And now, hang on. I just see that one of my pop figures is like half on the top of the other one. The Gomez one. And it's like falling over. So I just wanted to fix it now while I noticed it, because if I didn't do it now, I'd keep forgetting. Okay, so yeah, a caregiver. Quick little funny not funny, but quick little kind of funny side story. My mom actually had her own company called Generations, where it was like a nanny company, and she like either hired people to be a nanny for other people, obviously, hence the nanny company, or take care of like elderly people. Um, so it's basically she was hiring caregivers. Like that's exactly what that like is, and I didn't even realize that till just now. Um, but yeah, a caregiver is basically somebody that takes care of anybody with like higher needs. For example, children with autism, or adults even, adults with Down syndrome, maybe people with blindness, elderly people that are severely sick, maybe they have cancer or something like that. Those are the people that come in and are a caregiver. They give you care. They care for you in the ways that either you cannot care for yourself, or it is too much for one person or the family, or you need somebody who has more expertise in caring for said disability than what you may have. The thing with autism is no. That's the one I fixed too.
I'm not gonna say that.
Raylan, you gotta be careful, honey.
Like can always
So he really likes this Brown Bear book, and I already fixed it. You can see the tape. I feel bad because someone just got him this for Christmas, and he's already wrecking it. Baby, you gotta be careful with your stuff, honey. Okay, I'll let you keep looking at it, and I'll fix that again in a bit. Be careful, please. If you rip another page, I'm taking it away. How do you teach an autistic kid to be careful with their stuff? Except for constantly reminding them, and kind of being on top of like what they're doing with it. I have to watch him. I don't think he doesn't mean to, clearly, because he's just trying to turn the page, and I think it kind of gets stuck, and he's... So, anyways, it's just a book at the end of the day. It's not a huge deal. Again, I feel bad because someone bought it for him through Amazon.
I did not.
Amazon gift. Oh, that's the zipper that broke in the laundry. Anyways, so yeah, caregiver is basically somebody who cares for you. You guys get, I'm sure you guys get that. I explained all that. So because I am technically a single parent,
He's just a character.
again, because his father is not in the picture,
And so he has to.
like I'm doing the majority of everything for my son, which obviously that's how it should be, because like I'm his mom, but I mean he should still have another parent in his life. Luckily again my boyfriend does help me, like I said. But that's why I am his caregiver. So I've hired someone recently. She's going to meet Braylon this Tuesday. She is a nanny, but technically she could also be considered as a caregiver.
John doesn't have a lot of time for romantic date nights.
Sorry, there's so much I want to explain, and I'm just like, how do I go about this? I feel like, especially when the person is young, like Braylon, that parents should be given enough money to hire a caregiver or a PSW to come to the house and help them with their child, especially if they are a single parent. This is why I made the video about like basing basically my life as the same as other people that have a two-parent household, or even that has the father in the picture. The situation isn't the same.
Hey, questions. When was the last time you shopped? Personally, yeah.
I'm taking this away now and hiding it for a bit so I can fix it and so you don't wreck it for a little while. And look at the one that you have at school. What a fucking wedgie. Don't mind. Anyways, so yeah, this is why I made that video. You can see it here
It's just a dragon. Okay.
on my YouTube channel, where I'm talking about I don't understand why the government bases everything off a two-parent household when people don't have two parents in the house or whatever. And then even trying to get through court, it's like a long, stupid, hard situation. And this is what I'm talking about. It's not that I'm trying to put off going to court. I want to go to court and finish this stuff with my baby dad. I already started the process, and something was supposed to happen a year ago. It's almost been a year now. And I got that information in 2022. They said in 2023 almost. They said in 2024 in January there'll be a court date, blah blah blah. You'll get an update. Nothing ever happened. I never heard anything back from them. So now this whole time, people are going to think, this is again where the negative comments come in. People think that I've just put off going to court and being like, well, why didn't you just do something? Well, since January, I think sometime in January, that's when my son started this preschool. Or we started like going to the meetings, getting him all ready to go to this entry to school program, which was 6 months. And then once that was done, it was done just before September for school to start. And yeah, September, right? That's when they go back. Whatever. So now he's been in school. This is where it trails off, because he's been in school. First, then he was going only for an hour. Then he was going for 2 hours. Then finally he started going for full days. And then he's been sick for the past month. So it's been extremely hectic and hard for me to even go to the courthouse, because I've been constantly trying to just keep up with taking care of my son, taking care of myself, keep taking care of the house, keeping the house clean, doing the dishes, doing the laundry, trying to just promote myself here and there through TikTok and Twitter and keep posting on OF to try and make, so OnlyFans to try and make some money, you know, and I've been wanting to do my cosplays. And if he wasn't sick for that whole month and I was able to just continuously stay on top of these things, it wouldn't have been so hard on me, and I probably would have been able to go to the courthouse and, you know, and also start more of the process of getting diagnosed for autism. But I keep having to restart basically from scratch because of him constantly getting sick and not getting a proper sleep. And that's one of the major things that really affects us, because even today, just being autistic, like, it's common for children with autism to experience insomnia. So that's why they wake up early in the morning or like in the middle of the night kind of thing. And yeah, he woke up even today. He woke up at 5 a.m. And then plus him being sick and then his sleep schedule being all messed up. Just constantly restarted. Anyways, this has trailed off even more. The whole point is that
where your torso starts, we untuck it. This is gonna.
I'm like, I need to stay on topic of what we're mainly talking about.
Are you sure? You see what it looks like now?
Sometimes I just want to unload because there's just so much going on. There's so much stress. This is why I need help. More support, getting my story out there, following me, the kind comments, watching my videos, liking my videos, people understanding what we're going through and supporting us. It means a lot. It means a lot to me, and it'll mean a lot to my son even more when he can comprehend more of that kind of stuff. Right now, obviously, he doesn't really understand.
Okay, John, decent? Yeah, let's go have a look.
Anyways, so a caregiver, what makes me a caregiver and not just a parent is normal parents or parents that do not have a child with a disability is what I really like to say instead.
It does.
They don't, like, yes, I understand that some parents have to get their kids on a bus and they go to school. That part is the same. Like, I get that. And I'm lucky because the bus actually comes right to our house. We don't have to wait down the street like all the other families I've seen over the years, even growing up. Still now today, they wait at the end of our street and they all get picked up from the for the bus. They are to go to school. His bus comes to our house. But I'm saying what I have to do different than a parent that doesn't have a child with a disability is get on the bus with him and buckle him up. That's just one small thing. That doesn't sound like that's super hard, because it's not. One small thing, no big deal. But that's what people think, is that we're complaining about the one small thing and not we're venting or trying to bring awareness. We're trying to make people understand what we go through, but people just think we're complaining about it. But anyways, it's just makes it easier if we can have more people understand what we deal with and just have some more sympathy or respect, or, you know, help out whenever they can, even if it's just with supportive words. Anyways, so yeah, I have to buckle him in. I have to make sure that he has his tablet, because yes, the tablet helps them learn to communicate. It's really helping him right now learn to communicate through shows. It is a known fact for autistic people to learn better through song and dance. Because that's partly why they do really good with, example, the Wiggles. It's singing and dancing. But also, it's people tend to think that when we give them an iPad that they're watching shows all the time, but there are a lot of autistic children that use devices on there to actually communicate, and I want to get that app for him when I start making more money, because I think it's an expensive app, which is stupid. I don't understand why they make us pay for an app that's going to help our kids learn how to communicate. Like, that shouldn't be something that's so expensive. And if anything, it should be a cheap app if they're going to charge for it. I think it's like $80. I'm not sure. And I'm not sure if there's free ones. I'll have some time. I have to look into that. But there's an app called Lamp that is a bunch of pictures, and when you touch the word, it'll say lamp, or pizza, or I just said lamp because that's the name of the app, or but yeah, pizza or Christmas tree or walking or park. You can alter, I'm sure you can adjust it to whatever words that you use the most, and it helps them learn and associate the words with the actions because they're more so visual learners, which makes sense for me and why I realized, oh, I probably am autistic because I'm a visual learner too.
Okay.
There's many different signs. Anyways, so yes, I have to make sure that he has a tablet. Sometimes he's just kind of upset, really upset in the morning, and I don't know if it's because he doesn't want to go, if it's because he's gonna miss me. So we try to make him as comfortable as possible.
Okay.
Especially because his routine hasn't been consistent with getting on the bus. So it's like bring his elephant. Sometimes he wants to bring his blanket. I try to limit that though and be like, you're gonna go to school. They have a sensory room for you, so you don't need your tablet. Or I let him take the tablet and his little elephant weighted blanket thingy, but I don't usually let him take his big blanket or a soother because I'm trying to get him off of soothers obviously as well too. So that's another thing that we have to worry about. We have to worry about, packing all those things. How do we understand if they're upset or if they're happy? What are they upset about? And so we have to try every single option we can to find the solution to make sure that our kid is happy because, we don't want to feel like we're ignoring their happiness or like we're ignoring them. So we don't know because they can't communicate. We don't know if it's they're upset because they're hungry. We don't know if it's because they're upset because they're thirsty. He's crying, I think.
I want him to remember to take little moments to appreciate the incredible things that he has in front of him. I'm referring to Jay. Isn't it beautiful? Is it gorgeous? Your voice says. Oh, what a here. He's just washing his hands after the meal.
I was like wondering what was going on because my mom's upstairs getting the Christmas tree out right now. And my stepdad's upstairs. My stepdad's I knew they were at home, but I wasn't sure. That's why I went to go run up there. My stepdad's upstairs, and he slipped a little bit. I heard him. I think he's talking on the phone, but he said he slipped a little bit, but he's okay. So thank goodness my stepdad's home. It's just a little bit easier on me right now, and I'm trying to make this video and fold the laundry, and then he's all the way upstairs, and it's a lot having to go all the way upstairs. This is a long video. I always want to make these videos short because I feel like people aren't going to listen to them, but I know I shouldn't let that get to me. Yeah, so let's try and sum this up a little bit more so we can finish the video so it's not too long. But, so there's a bus example. There's anytime I go out, when I take him, like even yesterday when I took him swimming, most parents, I'm assuming, I could be wrong, but again, parents that don't have a child with a disability, you don't really have to worry about either, yeah, you do have to take the bus or you don't. But if you do take the bus, maybe your kid doesn't have to be in a stroller wagon like my kid does because he doesn't really walk with me. He's learning that and he's getting a lot better with it. But it's still needed because there are times where he's just overloaded with sensory overload, and the stroller wagon is his safety place. So when he's feeling like I need to calm down, I need to get away from the world, that's where he wants to go. So it's like, not always. I know that's not always the case. I know that a lot of parents, especially when you have younger children that aren't walking with you, especially at young ages, like 4, I feel like is kind of the age where they start to walk with you more, but they do kind of run away. I know that. I've seen that even yesterday. Like, I know not all kids walk with you. It's not like all, like kids are obedient or whatever people want to, say about that. Like, I get that. And that's what we're trying to keep making people aware as they think that the situation is exact same. And I'm like, no, it's not. Because, yeah, I do have to worry about the stroller wagon. I do have to worry about pull-ups because he's not really potty trained and we're trying to work on these things, And other parents, again, it's not a race, and it's okay if other parents have children. It's okay if parents have children that don't have disabilities and they aren't potty trained yet. Maybe they have a lot going on in their life and maybe they're slowly working on it. Maybe they're almost there. Maybe they're about to work on it. Like, it doesn't matter as long as they're trying to get there. It's, I mean, you shouldn't really slack in it, obviously, because I'm not condoning that. But I feel like by the age of 4, that there should be some sort of potty training started at least.
Yeah, totally.
And if there isn't, then maybe the parent is really desperate for some help, or maybe they are just slacking in parenting, and maybe, they need to be inspected. Who knows? So we have started potty training. We're slowly getting somewhere. School is helping. Me on that example, I'm like, I kind of have slacked in it, but I need help, but we're slowly getting help with the nanny thing. Anyway, so yeah, swimming. You need 3 different snacks because you can't really tell them to wait until you get home. And you need to bring juice because I don't know how thirsty he is. Maybe he's really thirsty. He won't take a drink from a fountain like any other kid. He won't just, if I got a drink from the vending machine, which I did, he wouldn't just take a sip from mommy's drink, I have to make sure I bring him juice. And that's another thing that, like, other parents don't have to worry about when they don't have a child with a disability.
Just a little bit of air dry. There's like a little bit of like polish and.
Or again, the example of him waking up really early in the morning. Like, even my friend, I was talking to her, and because her daughter doesn't have a disability, but she said, yeah, my daughter does wake up at least once throughout the night. Each week. There's there's at least one time. And I should have asked her after, but does she go back to sleep? Does she stay awake for the rest of the day? Like, does she fight you to go back to sleep? Like, what? Because, yeah, that part is the same, that they both wake up, but is the difference, do they fall back asleep? Do they go back to sleep after? What? Because I think she said her daughter woke her up to tell her something. But I should have said, oh, did she go back to sleep after that, or did you guys stay up? Because, like, how often does that happen? Does that happen, like, oh, one time at 2 a.m. and then she goes back to sleep? Or does that happen, like, once a week and it's always at, like, 3 a.m.? Because if it happened, like, once a week, like, once 3 a.m., then okay, I can understand. And she stays awake or fights you to be, like, understand to be quiet and stuff like that. Like, that's another thing. If he wakes up early in the morning, 4 a.m., and won't go back to sleep, I have to, like, I give him his tablet, usually, yeah, because I'm tired and I'm trying to get good sleep. So I give him his tablet and let him chill in his room. But now he's turning up the volume on his tablet, so I have to constantly go back over there to turn the volume down so I can try and, like, again, get some more sleep. Or he like maybe he's hungry, maybe he's thirsty. Like, he doesn't always go back to sleep. Most of the time he stays awake. At least for 2 hours. And it happens a lot. Again, especially when he was sick. So it's just like, I just want to know, like, how is it the same? Because I don't feel like it is. Because my son does have a disability. And these are the things that a caregiver or a parent has to deal with. But this is why our job is both a parent and a caregiver, because I'm doing more things than what a parent with a child that doesn't have a disability would be doing. I'm doing more stuff. And I need more support. I need help. This is why, like, having a live-in nanny, or it would be really nice down the road, because then I have somebody who's kind of always here to help me, to be with him. So, like, if I want to have a shower, I don't have to worry. Like, I'm always worried about, because my parents are, like, not always home, right? So I have to constantly try to wait until they're home, or I have a shower and I worry about, like, what's he doing? What's he getting into?
Nice to meet you.
Because, like, cameras don't really work. Baby cameras, baby monitors don't really work because he knocks them down and then I can't see him. Um, or he's not in the room. Like, I can't keep him really locked up in his bedroom because I used to do that. That doesn't even make a difference. Keeping him locked up in his bedroom, like that sounds bad. Putting the baby gate up and keeping him in his room while I go have a shower, but he would climb on the dresser. He climbs on things still. So I'm like, there is no place I can leave him alone where he's safe. And my mom doesn't really want to really cater to my schedule at all and help me out so that I don't have to stress out all the time about having a shower or getting things done or whatever. So it's just nice to have someone that would be there all the time. And I could just be like, hey, I'm trying to make dinner for us. Can you play with Braylon? Can you do his ABCs with him right now? Can you count with him right now? Can you read him a book right now while I'm trying to cook dinner? Or hey, can you take Braylon to the park for me so that I can just have a relaxing bath? I'm not saying I don't want to do things with my kid, and that's another thing. People think that you want a nanny because well, I didn't really need the quotation marks, but you want a nanny because you don't want to do any of the work or things like that. It's like, no, no, no. It's not that I don't want to do any of the work. I want help with the work and help with taking care of my son. I don't want them to do it all. I thought I wouldn't even like that. Like, no. But yeah, if you could help me, just put my dishes away once in a while, I'll do all my dishes. I'll wash them all. But if, hey, once in a while you can just put away my dishes for me, I'll make my own bed and fold all my laundry. But maybe if you could just put my laundry away or, I'll do all my laundry. Like, I'll wash it all. If you could fold it all and I'll put it all away. Or, maybe you just wash it all and fold it all and I'll put it all away. Or, again, any way that could go, just helping out with half of the job, whatever. Even if I'm the one doing more, I'll wash it and put it away, and the person's just folding the laundry. Because it just helps me out little bits here and there.
Not hiding behind something.
So I don't know if I really, I kind of rambled on, so I don't know exactly if I cleared up the whole difference between a parent and a caregiver. I hope I did somewhat put some light onto that. It's basically just doing both jobs. Um, and yeah, if I one day had a live-in nanny, then I wouldn't really classify myself as a caregiver anymore. I would just more so be his parent. And that's what I want to be. I don't want to do both jobs. I want to just be his mom, not his caregiver. It's too much for me. It messes with my mental state basically. So we're gonna start small with this nanny. Starting Tuesday and doing 2 hours, and I can make some money and build our way up to hopefully eventually moving out, and then probably not this person, but somebody down the road having a live-in nanny.
We have got about
Yeah. So one more time, basically, a caregiver is somebody who takes care of somebody who has extra needs or special needs and cares for those needs. So again, people with disabilities, elderly people. So all the things that I do for my son because of his autism is me being a caregiver. I'm trying to think of one other good example. Quick example.
It really
I guess the sensory toy thing isn't really. I guess the food, him with food, that makes me also his caregiver because I can't really just make him the same food I make because I know other kids don't necessarily eat the dinner you make them. I get that. That's fine. But you can communicate with them and more so find a dinner that they're going to want. You can get them a little bit more so to try new foods. Some kids are great with that. Some kids will try new foods. They'll eat anything. Some kids are not. I totally get that. Some kids have eating disorders, eating disabilities like Braylon. He has autism and that has that causes him to have an eating disability where they are afraid of new foods. It's overwhelming. It's too overstimulating, especially anything that's brightly colored. So we have to find foods that they will eat because people don't seem to understand. They just think that we're like, we don't want to deal with them being a picky eater, but it's not that they're a picky eater. It's that to them, they have their safe foods. And I understand this. This is why it makes me feel like I'm autistic because I was the same way growing up. Anything colorful is overstimulating. Um, Safe foods is what they know, and they will not, their brain does not send signals, like does not communicate with their body the way that other people's brains communicates with their body. Some you can learn that over time. Like me, for example, I have learned that over time that when my stomach, I'm hungry, I need to eat. But there are times I've noticed where I think this is why I go so long without eating. I've done it for a long, long time. Is because I don't really feel the hunger until I'm like starving hungry, and that's how it is for autistic people. Their brain does not make that connection of, oh, I am hungry, I need to eat something right now. They pretty much won't eat until they're in pain. So this is why we kind of have to teach them to eat throughout the day so that they learn that signal. This is probably how I learned growing up. That's what that signal means, and to be like, oh, I need to eat, but hence why I still struggle with it because autism, but I'm aware of it. So that is another way that I am his caregiver because I have to constantly feed him things
Do you feel like it finally get rid of hits?
that he will actually eat. Okay, my last quick example, and then I'm going to finish this video because now it's almost 45 minutes. To sum all this all up, tie it all up, is McDonald's chicken nuggets. That's a very common thing for autistic children, especially him. He actually started with eating the grocery store homemade chicken nuggets, not ones from McDonald's. And then slowly over time I started No, actually he started with both. The first chicken nugget he ever ate was a McDonald's chicken nugget. But I was giving him both kinds. So he did used to eat ones from the box from the grocery store, and then all of a sudden he just wouldn't eat those ones anymore and would only eat McDonald's ones. So I've told my parents, can you get a McDonald's chicken nuggets? And it is a lot. Like, let's be real, it is a lot to have to go to McDonald's every time to get him chicken nuggets. So I was like, if you guys want to help trying to get him back into eating other chicken nuggets than McDonald's ones, that would be fine. Like, I tried. Even when they asked me this, I tried not too long ago when we went to Wendy's. We were walking through the creek in my town. I don't want to say where, obviously, for safety reasons. But we were walking through, and then we passed a Wendy's, and I got chicken nuggets for him, hoping that maybe he would eat them. No, he wouldn't eat them. So then they started suggesting, like, what if we made homemade ones and got him McDonald's ones and, like, mix them in a box and see if he would just eat both, wouldn't even realize. It's kind of funny and ironic because they're very aware of things like that. They will notice the difference because they can taste the difference. Like, they're like, oh, that's a different color, that's a different texture, something's off about that, different flavor. Nope, I don't want those ones. Like, I get that because I'm like, yeah, I've been like that all growing up. Like, anything that was different kind. I remember my mom always saying, it's the exact same thing, just a different brand. I'm like, no, it tastes different. It tastes different. So this is why I understand that. So I was also like, good luck with that. And still now I have Jane's chicken nuggets. Those are the ones that most people suggest for autistic children because the ones that mostly taste like McDonald's chicken nuggets apparently. I've tried quite a few times. He won't eat them. So what do I do? Do I just let him go all night without eating dinner? Or, I mean, he's hard to get him to eat a proper meal, like throughout the day, even like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So breakfast might be like, okay, he had a decent amount of food for breakfast, then he's having different snacks. I try to feed him different food packs with vegetables, give him some yogurt. So he's had some healthy options in between there. But then sometimes he hasn't really had a lunch. So what do? I try to make him the chicken nuggets so he has something for dinner. I try to give him different options, French fries. That's a whole other thing I don't want to go down the road with. Um, and he doesn't eat them. So what do? Just let him kind of go hungry? Like, no. I mean, obviously, no, he's not going to starve to death. Clearly, he's okay. But, like, I feel like most good parents, not even good parents, but just parents that clearly love their kid, like, we love our kids a lot. We're not going to do that. We love them so much that we're like, well, I don't want my kid to really go hungry, especially because for him, if he wakes up in the middle of the night because he's hungry, that's going to mess up everything else. So it's so important for me I will go to McDonald's. So that's sometimes a lot on me, even having to just walk to McDonald's, even though it's not that far. Because sometimes I have to take him with me and push him around in the stroller wagon. And especially if it's winter, it's a lot easier in the summer. It's not as bad. But still, as he gets older and older, he's still a lot to push around. Um, but yeah, I get him chicken nuggets so that he eats and then he goes to sleep and he has a good sleep throughout the night. So that's another example of what we have to deal with is, constantly getting chicken nuggets and things like that from different places, yada yada yada. Anyways, I'm listening to my mom. She's talking to him up there, and I'm stopped focusing, and the laundry is that's all done. So I'm out of here. Thank you, anyone who does watch my videos and listens to everything I just said. I know this is kind of a long video because it's 45 minutes. There's just always so much to talk about, always so much to explain, and it's hard not to want to just keep venting about it. Um, Anyway, so just thanks again. I really appreciate anyone's support, which is following me, watching my videos, joining my live TikToks, joining me on Chatterbait, OnlyFans, ManyVids, all that great stuff. So yeah, I'm out of here. Thanks again. Bye. Oh, and just quickly, if you do have any questions, feel free to comment below. Bye.